We're also following the other top story. Disturbing details are out after 4 state lawmakers were shot in Minnesota, killing 2 of them. Vance Boelter is facing federal murder and stalking charges. He's accused of shooting and killing State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband early Saturday morning inside their home. Police say that he also shot State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. They both survived. Today, investigators revealed that he also went to 2 other lawmakers' homes that night. Thankfully, one wasn't home and police showed up at the other, so he ran away. The killings led to a 43-hour manhunt that ended with his arrest late last night. Governor Tim Walz promises justice will be served.
And you can rest assured that we will put every ounce of effort that the state of Minnesota has to make sure that justice is served and the individual responsible for this serves the time for the unspeakable act.
And back here in Washington, D.C., members of Congress say that the events have renewed concerns about their security and even threats facing their families.
I think people know that elected officials get threats. A lot of them you never hear about. Judges, election workers. This has gotten totally out of hand with threats against members of Congress. In 2016, there were like 1,700 of them. Last year, over 9,000 of them.
As a member of the Florida legislature, I actually had 2 people arrested, prosecuted, and locked up for making death threats against me and my family. So I understand the threat that this faces, and we do need to provide more security for legislators. It's absolutely needed.
According to U.S. Capitol Police, the number of threat cases has climbed for the 2nd year in a row. In 2024, a special unit investigated over 9,400 direct threats against members of Congress, including their families and staff members. And joining us now is the Auxiliary Bishop Kevin Kenney from the Diocese of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us today. And first off, how are the people of Minnesota doing after such a horrific, violent weekend?
Well, it's unspeakable. We're kind of numb about the whole situation of how it happened and how it could have happened. But it's also numbing to all of us. But the whole safety issue of how do we care for one another and how do we respect life is something that really is coming to the forefront.
Certainly is. And we know that Melissa Hortman was Catholic and she met regularly with Catholic bishops. Did you know her?
Yes. Annually, the bishops of Minnesota meet with the people in the legislature, and we were able to meet with her a couple times. And she and John Hoffman had a chance to speak with them a little bit about issues in the current budget. So it is kind of sobering to think that, somebody could easily be taken out as much as they were.
Yeah, definitely. Our prayers go out to everyone out there. And have you seen any acts or moments of solidarity among the Catholic faithful in Minnesota responding to this shooting?
Well, just the prayers over the weekend at the churches, and also I belong to an interfaith group, and the rabbis, the imams, the Protestant ministers, the Catholics are all coming together to pray for this, and hopefully to unite our congregations in a sense of how do we work for unity, and to agree to disagree, but how do we do that in a respectful way with dialogue and debate, but yet to respect one another.
Most definitely. I mean, we're seeing too much of this. Number of reports up on Capitol Hill. And what's your message for Catholics, Catholic faithful, and not only in Minnesota, but across the entire country, sir?
Well, how do we come back to healing? How do we come back to being united in the faith and in a way that we can live our lives in a way according to how God calls us to, but prayer one, and then healing and conversion in the sense of getting back to respecting life. If we disagree, we just don't take a person out. We sit down, we dialogue with them, and we agree to disagree. But the church as well is very divided. But yet we can get together, we can pray, we can celebrate communion, we can be together without having to be threatened by one another. And that's what the message is that we need to bring. That peace that Jesus gives to us is a peace that, opens our hearts to one another and to bring us to that unity.
Amen to that. Bishop Kenney, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me, Eric.